So I've had a lot of you messaging me on Instagram asking me how to deal with pressure because you're feeling a lot of pressure, you're feeling overwhelmed, you just don't want to mess up, you don't want to mess up in what you're doing. And that could be an academic perspective, trying to get the grades. It could be from A-levels, GCSE, university. It was also, I think, just in general life as well, how to deal with the general pressures of life. And I thought, you know what, let me make a video on this because I think you can get a lot of value from it. And I'll tell you my experience and how I was able to reduce pressure, even though I still believe that pressure is a good thing. Now, what you have to understand about pressure is that pressure is relative. Everyone feels pressure in different ways. Everyone feels pressure in different forms. Everyone feels pressure in different amounts. And if you're able to look at pressure in this way that I'm about to explain to you, I think you'll be able to reduce it a lot. Pressure is a good thing, okay? And the first question I will ask you is, if you did not care about what you're doing, do you think you're going to feel the pressure that you're feeling right now? Think about that. If you did not care about what you're doing, which is, it could be a task that you're doing, it could be a goal that you're trying to achieve, it could be a skill that you're learning, it could be a project that you're doing, it could be exams that you're revising for. If you did not care about those things, do you think you'll feel the pressure? Now, when I say care, it doesn't mean that, oh, I love what I'm doing, I enjoy it. I don't mean caring like that. That could also mean care, but what I refer to care as is obviously got some sort of emotional connection for you to feel the pressure. And that pressure could be from family, could be from friends, could be society, but there is still some sort of emotional connection, right? And if there is some sort of emotional connection between what you're trying to achieve and you feeling the pressure, it means that you do care. Because if you did not care, you would not feel the pressure. Think about it. There might be things in your life that you've gone through that you do not care about. Did you feel anything, any sort of emotions, any sort of overwhelming burden? You didn't, right? So you care. So that's the first thing that you want to understand. Perspective. I care about this. That's a good thing. Okay, this is why I feel the pressure. Now, when you feel this pressure, you have to ask yourself, okay, where is this pressure coming from first? Is it coming from people, friends, family, society, teachers, my work? Where is that coming from? Once you've established where the pressure is coming from, you need to ask yourself the question, is this pressure going to be beneficial for me, or am I getting overwhelmed by it? Because if you're getting overwhelmed by it, that is not a good thing. Okay, it means it's affecting you a lot and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to move forward. Think about it this way, a diamond, jewelry. When a diamond is made, when a jewelry is made, it goes through a lot of pressure, ridiculous amount of pressure to form the shape of the jewelry that you want, right? So that diamond at the beginning was nothing. And then through a lot of external pressures, it started to form a certain shape. And because of that pressure, the diamond is the masterpiece it is now. If you're able to use pressure in that way, this is where your growth comes. This is where your level of, you go to different levels. You're going a level higher. Now you might be thinking, oh, hold up, Vidish, what the heck, man? How do I reduce pressure? Okay, I understand what you're telling me about pressure. I understand, okay, I have to establish where it's coming from and I have to ask myself, okay, is this pressure needed or not? Fine, but how do I reduce it? I'll tell you one thing that's worked for me. The way you can reduce pressure is by taking daily consistent action. Let me repeat that. The way you can reduce pressure is by taking daily consistent action. Now, what do I mean by taking daily consistent action? Okay, say you are doing something, you are going towards a goal, your exams, university, internships, job, or whatever that task that you're trying to achieve, right, or project. By you taking daily consistent action towards that project, towards that goal, you are telling your brain that you're working towards that. Okay, now you might be thinking, okay, but I still feel the pressure. That's fine, no problem. Having a bit of pressure here and there is good. You need that. It keeps you on your toes. It keeps you, it gives you a bit of drive. It gives you a bit of urgency. That's fine. But I'm talking about the overwhelming pressure that you're feeling. To reduce that overwhelming pressure that you're feeling, you want to take daily actions towards that goal. Because when you're taking daily actions towards that goal, you know in the back of your mind that even when that pressure comes, it's like, okay, hold up. Okay, I know the pressure's coming, but I also know I'm taking practical steps towards that. So that pressure is not going to get to you as much. The reason why you're feeling so much pressure, yes, external factors come into play, but as well, majority of the reason is also you're probably not taking daily actions towards it. You're not actually doing work towards it. Because think about it, if you are working towards that goal and you're doing this every day, taking daily action every day, do you really think you're going to feel that much pressure? Now ask yourself that, do you really think you're going to feel that much pressure, that ridiculous amount of pressure, if you're actually consistently taking daily action? No way you will not. I guarantee you that. You will not feel that. You'll still feel a bit of pressure here and there, but like I said, that's fine. You need that. That's important. But if you take those actions daily and you do it day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, and that could be for, okay, you're revising for an exam. You're revising every day. You've got a dissertation, a project that you need to do. You're doing project every day. You've got, a project that you need to finish in your 9-to-5 job. Okay, I'm spending time on that every day. You're not going to feel the pressure as much. Because in your mind, subconsciously, you are programming your mind and you're letting your mind know that you are addressing the situation. You are addressing the situation by taking daily action. That's it. Very, very simple. By taking daily consistent action, you will reduce the pressure. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what do I do? How do I take daily consistent action? That means I need to go and spend 5 hours per day, 6 hours per day and work on it. No, that's not going to work. This is where you got to be very careful, okay? It's like starting something from zero, right? And then thinking that by me paying 5-6 hours and just going hard, that's it. No, you're going to get demotivated and you're going to feel the pressure more. How am I going to take this action? How am I going to do this every day? And this is where you are going to start small, okay? This is very important. Do not go in and do 3, 4, 5 hours of that work unless you can and you know you can. Fine. Most people can't do that. You'll get demotivated and you will not carry on. Start very small. 15 minutes. Okay, start with, if you can't do 1 hour and you can't sit down and do 1 hour, start with 15 minutes, start with 30 minutes. Even if you can't do 30 minutes, start with 15. 100% of you watching this, you can do 15 minutes. If you can't, you have to literally get yourself up and do it. Okay, I don't want to hear any excuses. Start with 15 minutes. If you can't sit down for 1 hour, start with 15 minutes. You do that for 1-2 weeks. Start with that first. Every day, whatever the task is, I'm going to sit down and do 15 minutes. That's very, very doable, okay? Unless you have a ridiculous medical condition that's not allowing you to sit down for 15 minutes, you have no excuses. So you start with 15 minutes, Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, however your timetable looks. Okay, start with 15. Once you got used to doing 15 minutes, you build that 15 minutes and you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to add another half an hour or maybe another 15 minutes, whichever way you feel more comfortable. So you could do another 30. So the next week you do 30 minutes or you do 45 minutes. Whichever way works for you, right? You're increasing your bandwidth, but you do not increase your bandwidth by going all in at the beginning. Okay, it doesn't work that way. We are not programmed like that. For you to have the motivation to work, you want to build that daily consistent action by building a habit. And the way you build the habit is you start small. So you start small and then you start building it up. Now, as you start building that, your bandwidth increases. Then you'll be able to do 1 hour, 2 hours. And I guarantee you, once you build the bandwidth and you're doing like 1, 2, 3 hours every day, the pressure that you started with at the beginning, which was here, will go right down here. I guarantee you that. So that's what I would say. Try that out and see for yourself. And then let me know in the comments or even message me on Instagram if you want. How is that going for you? Listen, don't have excuses. Don't bring up excuses. You got to start small, okay? Start small and build it up. I know you can do it. I guarantee you it will work for you, okay? You will do well. This is something that I would tell you will do well because I've gone through this stage myself that you're going through and I had to learn the hard way. But you see, if you're willing to learn and you're willing to push yourself on the other end, you will be able to look back and say, you know what, I'm so glad that I went through this process, because this process, just remember, like how a diamond gets shaped by the pressure, will allow you to become the best version that you can be. And then when you look back at that, you'll be like, wow, what a transformation. And then you would want to transform even more. You would want to go to, another Super Saiyan level. Okay. So remember this. Pressure will always be there no matter what. But if you're able to identify the pressure, look where the pressure is coming from and find ways of reducing the pressure, which is what I'm sharing to you right now, that pressure will go down and then you will see it's a game changer. Okay? Don't worry, you will be fine. I guarantee you. If there's anything that you still are struggling with, just put it down in the comments, message me on Instagram. And again, I can make videos about this to help you out. Everything starts from zero. When are you going to start? Peace.